There comes a point in life when you look at yourself and realize something has to change. Not because you failed, but because you've outgrown the person you used to be. The world keeps pulling you in every direction. Expectations, noise, distractions, people's opinions, your past mistakes, your self-doubt. Every day you carry pieces of an older version of yourself, pieces that no longer fit the person you're trying to become. And slowly, quietly, something inside you whispers, "I'm meant for more than this." This is where transformation begins. Not with motivation, not with luck, not with talent, but with a decision. I refuse to remain who I was. The Stoics believed that a person becomes unrecognizable not by changing their appearance, but by changing the architecture of their mind, the shape of their habits, the strength of their character. True transformation is silent. It happens in your discipline, in your thinking, in the choices no one sees. If you follow the same patterns, you'll live the same life. But if you shift your habits, your worldview, your emotional discipline, the world will struggle to recognize you. People who once doubted you will wonder how you changed so much. People who underestimated you will question how you became so strong, so calm, so controlled, so clear-minded. This script is not about becoming a better version of yourself. It's about becoming a new one built on timeless Stoic principles. These are the 9 Stoic ways that can reshape your life so profoundly that even you won't recognize who you used to be. Transformation isn't an event, it's a philosophy. The Stoics didn't believe in waiting for the right moment to become stronger, wiser, or more disciplined. They believed in shaping themselves daily, intentionally, ruthlessly. They believed identity wasn't fixed, it was something you built. But most people never change because they cling to an outdated version of themselves. They keep repeating the same reactions, the same emotional patterns, the same excuses, the same fears. They live inside a psychological loop, and then wonder why life looks the same year after year. The Stoics broke that loop. They understood something most people never realize. You don't become unrecognizable by accident. You become unrecognizable by practice. A new life requires new habits. A new identity requires new discipline. A new mindset requires new responsibility. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Meaning, who you become is a direct result of what you repeatedly think and do. If you want to rise, you must train your mind to rise. If you want inner peace, you must practice inner peace. If you want strength, you must practice strength. Every Stoic transformation had a pattern. They removed what was unnecessary. They strengthened what was weak. They mastered what was chaotic. They simplified what was overwhelming. They sharpened what was dull. And over time, they became someone entirely different. More focused, more grounded, more powerful. This script will guide you through 9 Stoic ways to rebuild yourself. 9 internal shifts that will make you mentally tougher, emotionally calmer, and unmistakably stronger. If you practice these, even the people closest to you will say, "You're not the same person anymore." Stoic Way 1. Remove the unnecessary, the art of radical simplification. The first step to becoming unrecognizable is not adding more, it's removing what weakens you. The Stoics believed transformation begins with subtraction. Before you can build a stronger mind, you must clear the mental clutter that keeps you ordinary, distracted, and emotionally unstable. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not essential, do not do it." That's not minimalism, that's identity engineering. You cannot become a new you while carrying the weight of the old you. You cannot rise while holding on to the habits that keep you low. You cannot simplify your mind while complicating your life with noise. This unnecessary, in modern life, takes many forms. People who drain your energy overthinking that keeps you trapped in worry tasks that don't move your life forward, emotional reactions that hijack your day, narratives about yourself that are no longer true, digital distractions that fracture your focus, environments that do not support who you want to become. The Stoics approached life like a sculptor. A sculptor doesn't find the masterpiece. He chisels away everything that isn't the masterpiece. Likewise, you become unrecognizable by chiseling away everything that doesn't belong to the person you're trying to become. This removal process creates space. Space for clarity, space for discipline, space for intentional action. When your life is cluttered, your thinking becomes cluttered. When your thinking is cluttered, your identity never evolves. The Stoics constantly asked themselves, does this help me become who I intend to be? If not, it had to go. This habit is not comfortable. Removing things can feel like loss. Letting go can trigger fear. Silence can feel unfamiliar. Simplicity can feel empty at first. But this emptiness is actually power, because it gives you room to grow. Here's the truth. An average life is built by adding more. An extraordinary life is built by removing more. Remove the distractions, your mind becomes sharper. Remove the emotional chaos, your decisions become stronger. Remove the unnecessary people, your energy becomes focused. Remove the meaningless habits, your progress accelerates. This is why most people never transform. They try to add discipline without removing distractions. Try to add confidence without removing self-doubt. Try to add peace without removing internal noise. The Stoics started where change actually happens, by stripping away everything that blocks your potential. Imagine starting your day without emotional triggers, without wasted time, without mental noise, without unnecessary obligations. Imagine operating from intention instead of reaction. Imagine living from clarity instead of confusion. You become unrecognizable not because you did more, but because you stopped doing what weakened you. You evolve when you eliminate. You grow when you simplify. You rise when you let go. This is your first Stoic transformation. Cut away everything that does not serve your future self. When you remove the unnecessary, the essential version of you finally appears. Stronger, calmer, and unmistakably new. Stoic Way 2. Master the pause, the power that changes everything. If habit 1 removes the noise outside you, habit 2 removes the chaos inside you. And this one habit alone can make you truly unrecognizable. The Stoics believed that the difference between an ordinary person and a powerful one is simple. The ordinary react. The powerful pause. Anger, anxiety, jealousy, fear, insecurity. These emotions take control when you don't pause. They hijack your mind, push you into decisions you regret, and make you a puppet to your impulses. Seneca said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." In Stoicism, that delay, that small, intentional pause, is everything. You know the moments. Someone insults you. You get bad news. A plan collapses. A person disappoints you. Life throws something unexpected at you. In those moments, a non-Stoic reacts instantly, emotionally, blindly, impulsively. A Stoic pauses. One breath. One silent moment. One brief gap between trigger and reaction. That gap is where your transformation happens. Because here's the truth. You don't need to eliminate your emotions. You need to interrupt their momentum. Emotions only dominate when they move faster than your awareness. The pause slows them down. Inside the pause, several things happen. 1. Your mind shifts from reaction to observation. You stop being inside the emotion and start watching it. This alone gives you back control. 2. Your body exits the emotional survival mode. A single deep breath signals the brain that nothing is truly threatening. Your nervous system calms. Your thinking becomes clearer. 3. You access reason, the Stoic superpower. Marcus Aurelius wrote that a person who can return to reason instantly stands taller than the towers. The pause is what lifts you there. 4. You choose instead of react. This is where identity changes. Every reaction reinforces the old you. Every pause builds the new you. When you pause, you become the architect of your response instead of a victim of your emotion. You break the old patterns, anger, rushing, defensiveness, insecurity, and create space for wisdom, clarity, and calm strength. Think about how many regrets were born because you didn't pause. The message you shouldn't have sent. The words you shouldn't have said. The decisions you made in frustration. The assumptions you jumped to. The anger that burned bridges. Now imagine a life where you pause before every important reaction. Imagine how many conflicts would dissolve. How many bad decisions would never happen. How much emotional energy you'd save. Pausing is not weakness, it's internal mastery. It's not slow, it's strategic. It's not passive, it's powerful. The world reacts quickly. You will now respond slowly, wisely, intentionally. The pause is what separates your future self from your former self. It is the habit that people will notice first, your new calm, your patience, your grounded energy. They won't understand how you became so composed, so steady, so unshakable. And you'll know the truth. It wasn't magic. It wasn't luck. It wasn't some sudden shift. It was a pause. A single, disciplined moment that changed everything. Become the person who pauses, and your entire identity will elevate to a level most people never reach. Stoic Way 3. Kill the old identity. Rebuild yourself through radical self-honesty. If you truly want to become unrecognizable, you must confront a hard truth. You cannot build a new you while protecting the old you. Most people never transform because they're loyal to their limitations. They defend their weaknesses, justify their habits, and cling to the identity that keeps them small. They say things like, "That's just how I am. I've always been like this. This is just my personality." That is not identity. That is conditioning. And conditioning can be changed. The Stoics practiced something powerful, something uncomfortable. Radical self-honesty. The ability to look directly at your flaws, your excuses, your patterns, without defensiveness, without sugarcoating, without blaming anyone else. Epictetus taught, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Why? Because growth requires humility. Transformation requires admitting the truth about the person you've been. This habit begins with one question. What part of me must die for the new me to be born? Ask yourself, what habits are destroying your potential? What emotions keep controlling your decisions? What people have access to you who shouldn't? What excuses do you repeat so often they feel like facts? What stories do you tell yourself to avoid responsibility? These are the walls that keep you trapped in the old identity, and you cannot become unrecognizable while holding on to them. Radical self-honesty is painful because it strips away illusions. But that pain is purification. It removes what is fake in you so the truth can finally grow. Here's how the Stoics practiced this habit. 1. They journaled brutal truths. Marcus Aurelius didn't write to impress others. He wrote to confront himself. His ego, his laziness, his fears, his impulses. Your journal becomes a mirror. Not the digital, filtered mirror we use today, a real one. It shows you the raw version of who you are. 2. They took full responsibility. A Stoic never says, "They made me angry. They ruined my day. They disrespected me." Instead, "I allowed their behavior to influence me. I reacted instead of responding. I failed to guard my mind." Responsibility is not blame. It is power. When you take responsibility, you reclaim control. 3. They removed the unnecessary. The old identity is full of distractions. Habits that drain you. People who slow you down. Thought patterns that sabotage your peace. Becoming unrecognizable requires subtraction, not addition. Remove what weakens you. Remove what misleads you. Remove what dims you. 4. They reinvented through action, not imagination. Stoics didn't dream of a new self. They practiced it. Daily. Relentlessly. If you want to become someone new, you must act like that person before you feel like that person. Identity follows behavior, not the other way around. Radical self-honesty is the door to transformation. It forces you to confront the old self and choose the new self every day. It makes you aware of the habits that must die and the strengths that must grow. And when you practice it consistently, something incredible happens. You begin shedding the version of yourself you no longer respect. You begin building the version you've always wanted to become. People will ask, "What changed? What happened to you? How did you improve so fast?" But they will never see the internal battle, the fight between the old identity and the new one. A battle you win by being ruthlessly honest with yourself. This is how reinvention begins. This is how you become unrecognizable, from the inside out. Stoic Way 4. Own your time. Eliminate the invisible thieves of your life. If there is one thing that keeps people stuck in the same identity year after year, it is this. They don't control their time. their time controls them. You can't become unrecognizable if your minutes are stolen, your attention is scattered, and your days disappear without purpose. And here's what the Stoics understood better than anyone. Your life is nothing but the sum of how you spend your time. Change your time, and you change your identity. Seneca warned, people are frugal with their money, but waste their time, the one thing it is right to be stingy with. He wasn't criticizing laziness. He was pointing at something deeper. Most people are not living, they are leaking. Leaking time, leaking attention, leaking focus, leaking potential. The transformation you want, the stronger mind, the upgraded habits, the calmer emotions, the more powerful identity, all of it requires ownership of time. Without that, nothing changes. Let's break down how the Stoics practiced this habit and how you can too. 1. Identify your invisible thieves. These are the things that don't feel harmful, but quietly steal hours of your life. Mindless scrolling, a gossip and drama, a overthinking, emotional reactivity, a toxic people, a meaningless obligations, procrastination disguised as planning, a worrying about what others think. These thieves don't destroy your life in one day. They destroy it in tiny, unnoticeable pieces. A little here, a little there, and suddenly, a year is gone. Becoming unrecognizable requires recognizing these thieves and cutting them off without hesitation. 2. Protect your attention like a fortress. Marcus Aurelius treated his attention as sacred. He wrote, "Your mind will take the shape of what you frequently think." If your attention is constantly hijacked by distractions, you'll become fragmented, drained, and anxious. But if you reclaim it, you become sharp, mentally and emotionally. You must decide where your attention goes. If not, someone else will decide for you. 3. Create a daily structure you actually respect. Stoics thrived on rhythm. Not rigid schedules, but intentional structure. Something simple like a morning clarity, a midday recalibration, an evening reflection. Not every minute needs to be planned, but every day must have direction. Without direction, you drift, and drifting keeps you ordinary. 4. Learn the Stoic practice of saying no. You cannot build a new life by saying yes to everything. You can't become stronger if you're always available. You can't upgrade your identity while living by other people's expectations. Stoics said no to unnecessary social obligations, empty conversations, energy-draining relationships, tasks that did not align with their purpose, emotional drama. Every no is a yes to your growth. Every refusal is an act of reclaiming your life. 5. Measure your days, not your intentions. Most people judge themselves by what they meant to do. Stoics judge themselves by what they actually did. At the end of the day, ask, did I spend my time or waste it? Did I act or did I delay? Did I strengthen myself or distract myself? This daily accountability is how you become unrecognizable. Becoming a new version of yourself requires reclaiming your time with the sharpness of a warrior and the wisdom of a philosopher. Because the truth is simple. If you do not own your time, you do not own your life. And if you do not own your life, you cannot change it. Control your minutes, and you will transform your identity. Protect your attention, and you will elevate your mind. Eliminate your invisible thieves, and you will rise into a version of yourself no one saw coming. This is how you become unstoppable. This is how you become unrecognizable. Stoic Way 5. Practice voluntary discomfort. Train your mind to become unshakable. If you want to become unrecognizable, mentally stronger, emotionally calmer, and spiritually harder to disturb, you must understand one profound Stoic truth. Comfort makes you soft. Discomfort makes you powerful. Modern life is designed around comfort. We avoid anything that feels unpleasant. Hard conversations, difficult tasks, emotional struggle, physical effort, silence, boredom, failure, discipline. But comfort doesn't change you. It maintains the current version of you, the very version you want to evolve from. The Stoics practiced something that most people today would run from: voluntary discomfort. They didn't wait for life to test them. They trained themselves first. Why? Because a trained mind is calm under pressure. An untrained mind collapses as soon as life becomes difficult. Voluntary discomfort is not suffering for the sake of suffering. It is controlled difficulty designed to make you stronger, sharper, and more resilient. If you can handle small, intentional discomfort daily, you become nearly invincible to unexpected discomfort. 1. Discomfort builds mental calluses. Muscles grow through resistance. So does your mind. Every time you wake up early, finish a task you don't want to do, hold your tongue in anger, stay disciplined when you feel lazy, choose the harder but wiser option, your mind becomes tougher. Just like a sword is forged in fire, your identity is forged in discomfort. 2. You destroy the fear of hard things. When you approach discomfort instead of avoiding it, something powerful happens. Your fear shrinks. You realize the thing you avoided for years wasn't as bad as your mind made it. This rewires your brain. This breaks your old limits. This builds courage, the quiet, unbreakable kind. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Discomfort becomes your teacher. Obstacles become your training ground. 3. You build emotional stability. People who avoid discomfort become emotionally fragile. They get irritated easily. They panic under pressure. They react instead of respond. But when you practice voluntary discomfort, you build emotional range. You learn to withstand inconvenience. You learn to stay calm when things go wrong. You learn to control your reactions. This is how emotional mastery is formed. 4. You train your willpower, the Stoic superpower. Willpower is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. And voluntary discomfort forces that muscle to grow. Do something hard every day, on purpose. Or a cold shower. A workout you don't want to do. A difficult conversation. A temptation you resist. A challenge you accept. A habit you stick to even when you're tired. These small moments build an iron will. And a person with an iron will is unrecognizable compared to who they were before. 5. You become anti-fragile. A fragile person breaks under pressure. A resilient person withstands pressure. But an anti-fragile person, a Stoic, grows under pressure. Every difficulty becomes strength. Every challenge becomes fuel. Every discomfort becomes transformation. This is not about being harsh with yourself. This is about preparing yourself for life. Because life will test you whether you're ready or not. The Stoic chooses to be ready. The Stoic trains before the storm. The Stoic builds the strength people admire but never understand. Voluntary discomfort is not punishment, it's freedom. Freedom from fear. Freedom from laziness. Freedom from emotional instability. Freedom from the weaker version of yourself. Practice discomfort, and life will no longer intimidate you. Practice discomfort, and your confidence will rise naturally. Practice discomfort, and you will step into a version of yourself that is calm, disciplined, and unshakable. This is how you become unrecognizable. Not through luck, not through motivation, through training. Stoic Ways 6. Speak less, observe more. Build the power of strategic silence. One of the clearest signs of transformation, one of the first things people notice when you start changing, is this. You talk less. You react less. You reveal less. You observe more. The old you spoke to fill silence. The upgraded you uses silence to gather strength. The old you reacted emotionally. The upgraded you responds strategically. The old you explained, justified, overshared. The upgraded you moves quietly, with intention. This shift is rooted in a core Stoic principle. Silence is strength. Observation is intelligence. Epictetus taught, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we may listen twice as much as we speak." Why? Because when you stop talking, you start seeing. And when you start seeing, you stop being fooled by people, by emotions, by your own impulses. This habit is about becoming a master of awareness. Awareness of yourself. Awareness of your environment. Awareness of others' intentions. Awareness of truth versus illusion. Let's break down how this habit reshapes you into someone unrecognizable. 1. Silence makes you emotionally intelligent. Most people speak from emotion, not clarity. They spill their anger, overshare their fears, confess their insecurities, broadcast their frustrations. But when you embrace silence, you create distance between emotion and expression. You gain time to understand asterisk. What am I really feeling? Why am I feeling it? Is speaking helpful right now? What outcome do I actually want? This alone makes you calmer, more strategic, more grounded. People notice this instantly. 2. You begin to see people clearly. When you talk too much, you miss everything. You miss people's intentions. You miss their inconsistencies. You miss red flags. You miss opportunities. But when you speak less and observe more, you see who is genuine, who is pretending, who respects you, who uses you, who listens actively, who only talks about themselves, who shows consistency through actions. Observation reveals truth, and truth protects you. 3. You create mystery and power. In a world where everyone overshares, the quiet person becomes intriguing. Your silence creates presence. People wonder what you're thinking. People pay more attention when you do speak. Stoics understood that power isn't in loudness, it's in restraint. Authority comes from selective speech. Say less, and your words start to matter. Say less, and people take you more seriously. Say less, and you gain control over your narrative. Now that you've explored the 8 Stoic habits to stop anger and relax your mind, it's time to take action. Knowledge alone does not transform, action does. The Stoics didn't merely read about calmness, patience, or discipline. They practiced it, daily, intentionally, ruthlessly. And that's exactly what you must do if you want to become the master of your emotions. Start small. Pick one habit today, maybe master the pause, and implement it in your next stressful moment. Notice how just a single breath before reacting gives you clarity and control. Then layer another habit, perhaps detach from outcomes or practice voluntary discomfort, and integrate it into your routine. These habits compound over time. Each one strengthens your mind, reinforces calm, and creates a new baseline of emotional stability. Remember, this journey isn't about perfection. You will get frustrated, distracted, or angry sometimes. That's normal. The Stoics embraced imperfection as part of growth. What matters is consistency. Each day you practice these habits, you chip away at old reactive patterns and reinforce the calm, focused, unshakable version of yourself. So take a moment to commit. Revisit these 8 habits daily. Apply them consciously in moments of stress. Reflect on your progress and adjust. Your mind is your most powerful tool. These habits are your blueprint to stop letting anger control you, relax your mind, and build an identity that is calm, disciplined, and strong. Start today. Practice one habit, then another. Transform your mind habit by habit. The calm, unshakable version of yourself is waiting. You just need to step into it. 4. Silence makes you a better thinker. Talking is easy. Thinking deeply is rare. When you embrace silence, your thoughts sharpen. You make better decisions. You solve problems faster. You understand yourself more clearly. Marcus Aurelius often retreated into silence to recalibrate his mind. He believed silence was the engine of wisdom, the space where you see solutions that emotion hides. 5. Observing more builds unshakable confidence. People talk excessively when they're insecure. They need to be heard. They need to be validated. They need approval. But when you speak less, you break this dependency. You stop needing to prove yourself. You stop craving reassurance. You stop explaining your worth. True confidence is quiet. False confidence is loud. When you observe instead of react, you project a different kind of strength. Calm, steady, understated, powerful. A strength that makes people think, he's changed. She's different now. What happened to them? And the answer is simple. You learn to control your words instead of being controlled by them. You learn to observe reality instead of arguing with it. You learn to build wisdom instead of noise. This is the Stoic shift that elevates your identity. This is how you gain authority without saying a word. You become unrecognizable, not by speaking louder, but by mastering silence. Stoic Ways 7. Detach from outcomes. Free yourself from fear, overthinking, and emotional turmoil. If there is one habit that instantly elevates your peace, strengthens your focus, and transforms you into someone unshakable, it is this. Detach from what you cannot control, especially outcomes. Most people suffer because they tie their happiness, confidence, and self-worth to results. If this works out, then I'll feel good. If they approve of me, then I can relax. If I succeed, then I'll be enough. But when your identity depends on outcomes, you live in anxiety. You fear failure. You panic over uncertainty. You overthink every decision. You doubt yourself before you even begin. You become emotionally unstable, rising and falling with every result. This is why the Stoics repeated one truth endlessly. You control effort. You do not control outcome. Epictetus said it sharply. Some things are up to us, and some are not. The wisest, strongest people don't eliminate ambition. They eliminate attachment. They show up fully, but they don't worship the result. They work with intensity, but they don't break when life twists. They try their best, but they don't tie their identity to success or failure. This is how detachment transforms you. 1. Detachment breaks fear. Fear is always rooted in the future, in what might happen. But when you are no longer attached to outcomes, fear loses its power. You still care. You still try. You still aim high. But fear cannot control you because you're no longer emotionally chained to the result. The person who fears no outcome becomes unstoppable. Point 2. Detachment ends overthinking. Overthinking comes from trying to control what is outside your power. How others will react. Whether the plan will work. What people will think. How the situation will unfold. When you detach, your mind stops spinning in circles. You focus only on what you can influence. Your choices, your actions, your attitude. This brings clarity, calm, and mental freedom. 3. Detachment makes you emotionally balanced. Imagine this. You do your work with full effort. You give your best with full presence. But when the result arrives, good or bad, you remain centered. Not numb. Not careless. Balanced. People will notice you're calm. They will wonder how you stay so composed. They won't understand that you've mastered the art of not clinging. 4. Detachment improves decision-making. When you cling to outcomes, you make choices from fear. When you let go, you make choices from reason. Marcus Aurelius taught that the wise person acts with integrity in the present moment, without anxiety about what comes after. That is how you make powerful decisions, with clarity, not desperation. 5. Detachment builds resilience. When you are attached, every setback feels personal. Every failure feels fatal. Every disappointment feels like the end. But when you detach, failure becomes feedback. Rejection becomes redirection. Loss becomes a lesson. You don't break, you adapt. You don't collapse, you grow. You don't retreat, you reposition. This is how strong identities are built. 6. Detachment liberates you from people's opinions. As long as you are attached to approval, you are controlled by other people. Your self-worth becomes their decision. Your confidence becomes their permission. But when you detach, you reclaim your freedom. You speak honestly. You make bold moves. You set real boundaries. You stop chasing validation. People's opinions become noise instead of commands. This is the transformation that makes you truly unrecognizable. From anxious and approval-seeking to grounded and self-directed. Detachment is not lack of care. It is lack of chains. You still pursue excellence, but without desperation. You still desire good outcomes, but without emotional slavery. You still love deeply, but without losing yourself. Detach from outcomes, and life becomes lighter. Detach from outcomes, and your confidence becomes real. Detach from outcomes, and you finally meet the version of yourself you were meant to be. Stoic Way 8. Cultivate inner dialogue. Shape your mind. Shape your identity. If you want to become unrecognizable, one of the most powerful tools you can master is your inner dialogue, the conversation you have with yourself every single day. Most people never change because their internal voice is chaotic, negative, or untrained. It constantly judges, criticizes, worries, and doubts. It repeats fears and insecurities like a broken record. It clings to past failures and anticipates imagined disasters. The Stoics knew that the mind is like a garden. If you do not cultivate it intentionally, weeds will grow. Your thoughts shape your emotions. Your emotions shape your actions. Your actions shape your habits. Your habits shape your identity. If your inner dialogue is toxic or passive, your identity will mirror that chaos. If your inner dialogue is intentional, disciplined, and stoic, you become someone completely new, unrecognizable even to yourself. 1. Speak to yourself as a wise mentor would. Marcus Aurelius constantly wrote to himself in his journal, not to vent, but to guide. He reminded himself to act with courage, to remain calm under adversity, to reject distractions and impulses, to focus on what truly matters. Your inner voice should be a mentor, not a critic. Instead of, "I can't handle this," say, "I can face this with clarity and strength." Instead of, "This is too hard," say, "This challenge builds my resilience." Reframing your internal dialogue rewires your mind. It transforms weakness into confidence, doubt into clarity, fear into action. 2. Catch negative patterns early. Most people let their thoughts run unchecked. A single worry spirals into hours of anxiety. A single insult becomes a day of resentment. Stoics practiced mindfulness of thought. They noticed when the mind wandered into negativity. They intercepted unhelpful thoughts. They replaced them with reasoned reflection. This habit protects your mental energy. It prevents emotional overreaction. It allows you to act intentionally instead of reacting reflexively. 3. Use daily journaling for reflection and correction. Journaling is like mental weightlifting. It strengthens reasoning. It sharpens perspective. It clarifies your goals and principles. Write down your mistakes and how you will correct them, your achievements and what you learned, thoughts that are unhelpful and how to replace them, daily affirmations aligned with your desired identity. This practice rewires your mind to operate at a higher level consistently. 4. Reinforce your values through self-talk. Stoics aligned their thoughts with their principles. Courage, integrity, discipline, patience, wisdom. These weren't abstract ideals. They were repeated, internalized, and reinforced daily through deliberate reflection. Your inner dialogue should echo your values constantly. Remind yourself who you are becoming, not who you were. This repetition builds a new mental identity that gradually becomes automatic. 5. Turn obstacles into conversations with your future self. When difficulties arise, ask yourself, how would my strongest, calmest, wisest self handle this? This creates a feedback loop. You simulate your ideal self. You act according to that model. You reinforce habits that make that self real. Over time, the mental rehearsal transforms into reality. Your thoughts shape your actions, and your actions reshape your identity. The Stoics understood a simple truth. Change begins in the mind. Your inner dialogue is the architect of your thoughts, habits, and ultimately your identity. Control it, shape it, elevate it. When your inner voice becomes disciplined, wise, and stoic, everything about you changes. People notice your calm, your confidence, your focus. They see someone who has transformed from the inside out. And you finally meet the version of yourself you were meant to become, unrecognizable, strong, and unshakable.